Hello, welcome to the Child Care Consultation Program's YouTube video series on sleep. This is going to be the first in a 5-video series about sleep and our children, ways that we can improve the quantity and the quality of their sleep. First off, there is no magic cure. If you're looking for me to tell you, do this one thing or that one thing and all of your problems will be solved, life isn't like that. Parenting isn't like that. Just the fact that you're interested in helping your child get more sleep, that you're willing to click on a video to say, hey, what can I do? Give yourself a pat on the back, that you're looking at what is a society-wide issue. As a society, we're not getting enough sleep. So just to think about, can I buck that trend? Can I do something different? Can I improve in ways that we as a society are struggling is a wonderful thing. You're already thinking about and wanting to do better. So first off, why do we value sleep? What's so great about sleep? Some people would say, oh, I don't need that much sleep, or sleep's overrated. Why is it that sleep is so important? And so many of our medical and mental health experts talk to us all the time about sleep. Sleep is when we grow. Sleep is when our bodies heal. Sleep is when our minds, our brains rejuvenate. It's when we start to make sense of our experiences. When we don't get sleep, the mind doesn't get a chance to build connections. It doesn't get a chance to make associations. And so what we find is that we don't learn and we have trouble focusing. If you think about the dreams that you have, our mind is associating and trying to figure out and make sense of the world around us. And so we put things that don't seem to be connected together in our dreams because the brain is trying to figure out, how can I make all these connections? And so it's so important that our children get enough sleep. It's healing and it's restorative. We know that people that don't get enough sleep are likely to be irritable, to be fussy, to have trouble concentrating, and trouble learning. So if our children aren't getting enough sleep and we're struggling to get them enough, we need to expect this. We need to understand my kid's going to have a difficult time in school, or they're going to be fussy and irritable. And there's no replacement for it. There's no behavior chart. There isn't a medication. There isn't anything that is a replacement for sleep. Sleep is the only thing that we can do to restore this very important point. It's like exercise and nutrition. Either we get them or we don't. So how much sleep do our kids need? We know that preschoolers need between 10 and 13 hours. Now that's a really big range. So ideally we'd like to be on the higher end on 13 rather than 10, especially for a child that's struggling with any kind of moodiness or irritability or trouble learning. We want to be bumping that up as much as we can. So for a preschooler, 3 to 5 years old, 10 to 13 hours. For school-age children, we're looking at 9 to 11 hours of sleep. Again, we want to be erring on the side of that 11 hours. So grade school, middle school kids, 9 to 11 hours. For our teens, they need between, I hate to say it, 8, that's so low, and 10 hours. 10 is much closer to what most of our teenagers need. Some of them really need to be bumping up against 10 on a regular basis. Again, if we're seeing any difficulties in school, trouble concentrating, moodiness, fussiness, more sleep is going to be one of the first things we're going to go to, along with those other 2 important steps, nutrition and exercise. So now we know about how much we're willing to have. In the next videos, we're going to be talking about ways that we can improve sleep. But there are so many barriers to that. Many of you are sharing a room with your children. Some of you are sharing a bed with your children because you don't have enough room in the house, because you're living in the same room with them. You've got crazy work schedules. I understand. And so some of you are going to have barriers that our video series is just not going to touch. And so you have to give yourselves grace. You have to be able to say, I'm doing the best I can. I'm looking for ways to make those changes. I'm looking for ways that I can get a little bit of extra sleep here and there. And maybe some of the discussions we have about scheduling and about routine will help you with your own sleep as well, so that as a family we can get more sleep. But again, if we're not able to make those changes, we're not able to increase sleep right away, we're not able to increase the quality of sleep, we're going to expect our kids to have a harder time. And so we need to be more patient with them, more understanding with them, and say, look, they're tired. And so they're going to act tired. And maybe I'm tired too, and I'm going to act tired. So have grace for yourselves, patience with yourselves and with your children, and hopefully as we talk about ways to increase the quantity and quality of sleep, we'll be able to make some slow incremental changes to improve sleep for our children and maybe for ourselves and our whole families. Until next time.